I'd like to tell you a little story. Many years ago, I was crowned Miss Malika UK 2005. Yes, I was younger and a lot slimmer. But but let me tell you my journey to being crowned Miss Malika UK. Now, I had won my regional pageant with against 11 or 12 other girls, and then the top three went to the national finals. So after my regional pageant, we had about a 2 month window for preparation and getting ready. And on Sundays, I would go into London by train so that my model trainer and my pageant trainer would whip me into shape almost literally. So on this night, I showed up again with, I think another 12 or 13 girls from all across the United Kingdom, and we'd all come together for the national pageant. So we had the opening sequence was this dance sequence, and we had practiced and rehearsed this dance routine. We're wearing white spaghetti tops, I think, with blue pants, and I think we were barefoot. So we had this cute dance that we do designed to, showcase the best of us and our class and grace and elegance. And then after that, we went in to change for our traditional wear, which was our first solo outing on the stage. Now, by the time I showed up on the scene, there was clearly a crowd favorite. She was this ebony skinned, stunning, confident girl from Southern Africa. And she showed up strutting on that stage, and the cheer from the audience was something else. And I was behind stage thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to make it through? Anyway, it got to my turn, and I walked down that runway. And then I got back to the end, and I was given the microphone and asked the question. And that, my dear friends, is when everything changed. That moment when I took the microphone, introduced myself as a 18 or 19-year-old student of electronics engineering, and really shared my passion for why I was on that stage competing for the Miss Malika UK crown. In that moment, I actually felt a shift in the audience. I felt that the judges and the guests that were there no longer just saw me as one of the other women, but actually saw me, Bodam Taiwo, now Lady Bodam. And I went away and came back on I don't know, maybe an hour later, dressed in this beautiful black Kasiba couture design. It was a black and silver ashoke corset, and then it had a satin full fishtail kind of skirt, and I wore black heels, and I felt really elegant. And I had this beautiful jewelry that was given to us by someone, one of the sponsors. And I walked out on the stage again, and I was given a flower by this beautiful girl, and then walked down the stage and came back down this way, and then I was given the microphone again and asked the question about what my platform would be if I was crowned. And as I spoke from the heart and answered that question, that was the moment. That was the moment that I actually won the crown. The crowd saw me, the judges saw me, and they saw who it is I could be. And this, my friends, is the beauty of communicating powerfully. I'll tell you one more story. When I first moved back to Nigeria, I got a job with this organization. It was in the telecommunications space, and it was really, really a big organization. But I had the opportunity to even interview with that organization because of my sister, Mbaranga Siodu. Now, she showed up at the building one day, and from the reception, she said, I would like to speak to someone in HR. This was in 2006. And they were like, do you have an appointment? And she says, no, I don't. But I have a really brilliant sister that I think you guys need to speak to. And apparently, somebody was passing by and heard her enunciation of her words and heard her use of the English language. And that person said, I love how you speak. Come with me, and I'm going to see if I can get you to see someone in HR. Anyway, to cut a long story really short, She did have the conversation with somebody in HR many years later, or many months later, I came back to Nigeria, and that's how I got my first job. Don't ever let anybody tell you that communication doesn't matter. It does. The way you communicate, the manner you communicate, your body language, your eye contact, the words you choose to use, your tone of voice, everything about the way you communicate helps you to land a message, helps you to convince an audience, helps you to inspire people, and helps to establish your leadership. Now, you may or may not be aware, but I recently opened up registration to the Executive Presence Masterclass, where I will be teaching female leaders just like you the three facets of executive presence: gravitas, communication, and appearance. Now, it's going to be a 7-week class. Each week, we're going to get into class together. I would share with you a short video, speak through something live with you as well across each of the facets. Now, let me tell you why. It's because you're thinking 7 weeks. Why? Executive presence, when we talk of gravitas, under gravitas alone, there are about 6 or 7 pillars that you would need if you want to embody gravitas fully. Under communication, there are about 3 or 4 different pillars I would want to imbibe in you. And under appearance, my goodness, I could go on and on about this one forever. So I'll put the link in the caption below, so please feel free to have a look at it. But before I wrap up today's video, I really wanted to share with you 4 tips from a speech I listened to by Denzel Washington. Now, maybe over the next few days, if I can, I will put out a little short 10-minute video sharing with you some tips you can put into practice based on speeches that I have heard that I felt were really impactful and touched me. Now, this particular speech from Denzel Washington, who I really truly love, was an acceptance speech he gave at one of the many places he's spoken at. But there were 4 or 5 things that really struck me. The first was acknowledge others. As soon as Mr. Washington took the stage, he acknowledged those who had been with him on the journey and those who had paved the way for him on the journey. So he acknowledged the fathers of the industry and those who had faced really serious battles and contention getting to where they were, so that people like him, in his words, a young African American boy, could get to where it is that he got to in that day. Second big thing is, where's my second thing? Use examples to land your point, right? Examples should be relatable. And Mr. Washington does this so brilliantly. Every time he speaks, he tells you a story about something. He brings it back to his childhood. He speaks of his family. He tells you of his journey through the industry. But whatever it is, you see him as a person because of the stories that he's chosen to tell you. So what examples and what stories are you choosing to tell your audience? The third thing is understand the power of silence. Now, silence, when used right, can capture again the attention of your audience. Sometimes we're so nervous about speaking that we just prattle on and on and on, and people lose us, and we're still going on and on and on. Learn the value of pausing for a few seconds so that you can recollect your thoughts, so that you can make sure you're on the right path, and so that you can even shake up your audience a little, so that those who were scrolling on social media, who had started daydreaming about dinner, will look up and be like, is she done? Is he done? Or did I miss something? Why is the whole place quiet, right? So it's an opportunity also to allow your points to sink in. So when you make a really valid point, just learn to pause for 2 or 3 seconds to allow that point really sink in. It allows people refocus, and of course, it allows you to gather your thoughts again. I'll share 2 more things with you. The fourth thing is impactful speeches do not have to be long. Don't fall for this thing that to make impact, you need to be speaking for 40 minutes, 1 hour. Some of the best speeches I've listened to are under 15 minutes. Some of the most exciting conversations that I've heard that really marked my heart are short 10-minute, 12-minute, 20-minute conversations or 20-minute speeches. So hone yourself to be able to pass across your message quickly, clearly, and using the least amount of time that you can use. All right? And the final thing I would share is gentle humor helps sometimes. Now, I always put a caveat with this one. And my caveat is if you know that you are not gifted with the gift of humor, maybe you stay away from this one, right? But it can be tongue-in-cheek kind of humor. Don't try and be a clown if that's not your everyday profession. But you can just a little joke here, light-hearted comment made. You can poke fun at yourself as well. Just something to get the audience to smile and to connect. Why? Because the people that you smile with are people that typically you listen to and people that you remember. So what are my 5 tips from Denzel Washington's speech? Acknowledge others, use examples to land your point, understand how to utilize the power of silence, do not speak forever. Impactful speeches do not have to be long. And finally, gentle humor does help. So see how you can incorporate that into your speech. Do click the link below to find out all about the Executive Presence Masterclass, and if that's something that'll be of interest to you. And if you want more information, please do feel free to send me an email. I will speak to you soon, and I will see if I can send you a video over the next few days, just sharing more tips from more videos and more speeches that have really touched my heart. Have a beautiful day and an absolutely amazing week ahead. I'll speak to you soon. Bye now.